It's Thursday night in the A. You know what that means. Kelly Price and Tori is coming at you on Rise Up Tonight, presented by AT&T.
How are we feeling, Atlanta? Tori, I'm going to choose good vibes, happiness, hope. It's really too early for anything else, right? The Falcons have dropped 7 of their past season openers, but it's only one game. It's only one game. It's only one game.
Yeah, so a little trivia for you, Kelly, to start the show, to really lean into those good vibes. Good vibes. Do you want to know the last time that the Falcons lost their home opener against the Buccaneers?
It's definitely before I got here, and I got here in 2019.
Okay, so it's almost 10 years ago. It's 9 years ago, September 11th, literally to the day that we're recording this, 2016. And you want to know where they ended up 5 months later of that season? The Super Bowl. A Super Bowl bid. So no, it's not the end of the world, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen this year, but just to put some perspective.
But we're not saying
this
that.
one game is not going to make or break your season, you hope.
All right, real talk. Sunday was it was bittersweet. It felt like the Falcons were good enough to beat the Bucs, but they didn't. Let's huddle up about it, y'all.
Let's huddle up with Kelly and Tori on the world of Falcons football.
So we're gonna start a conversation, and unfortunately maybe not start it as much as continue it, because Younghoe Koo kind of said it best himself this week. Unfortunately, we've been having this conversation more than I would like, unquote. And I think he's tipped the scales from that emotional bank Raheem Morris has talked about that Koo has with him into another, more negative direction. Koo misses an opportunity to tie this game from 44 yards out, coming off a career-high 9 missed field goals last season, and now we know another kicker has been added to the practice squad. But where do the Falcons kind of go from here, Tori?
Yeah, so to your point, they brought in competition for one, signing Parker Romo to the practice squad. Raheem Morris said Wednesday the team is going to give Romo a fair shake this week to prove to them that he can go out there if need be on Sunday night. So Morris didn't close the door on running out Koo or Romo in Minnesota this weekend. All of this coming, though, after Monday, when Morris himself alluded to the fact that, yes, the Falcons have to alter their game strategy because they can't really trust much beyond 40 yards right now.
That was crazy.
Yeah, and Kelly, that's not a high school coach who just doesn't have a kicker on his team saying that. That's a professional head coach saying that. And that, quite frankly, is kind of unacceptable in this league that comes down to one-score games every single day.
Yeah, that was pretty wild to hear him say that. Meanwhile, I know I'm feeling cautiously optimistic about what I saw from the Dirty Birds defense. I don't know about you, Tori, but it's like this edge of the seat feeling like someone is about to make a big exclamation point play. That's kind of how I felt all Sunday watching that game against the Bucs, and we're talking about a breakout day for the defense if that was the case. I was also particularly impressed with the rookies making an impact from the jump. What stood out on that side of the ball to you?
Yeah, so let's talk about pressures for a second, because even though Baker did scramble for 40 yards on the ground, he was pressured on 40.5% of his dropbacks. That was one of the highest clips of any defense in week 1, and that it was nearly double the Falcons' average pressure rate in 2024. So while we're talking about this, like, we're talking about centimeters between hands of a Falcons defenders and an interception, a millisecond between a sack and a scramble. Those plays get finished. We're talking about a completely different game, and that's why I think there's reasons to be optimistic about this defense, because once those near misses turn into sacks, they turn into turnovers, this will be a very tough defense to face.
Right. Meanwhile, Michael Penix Jr. was the 5th starting quarterback the Falcons have called upon in opening week since 2021, going back to our Lord and Savior, Matt Ryan. It was Penix's 4th start overall, so it's kind of like he's like rookie year and a half here, right? That being said, Tori, I thought Penix commanded and stayed within the offense, made plays when he needed to, especially handing the blitzes the Bucs were kind of throwing at him. And most importantly, he was a leader for this team, especially down the stretch, and gave them a chance to take home a dub at the end. How do you evaluate the official kickoff of the MPJ era in ATL?
Yeah, so I kind of go off of something that Michael Penix himself told us this week, that it definitely wasn't perfect, but there was a lot to build upon. And I like the fight I saw from Mike, literally willing himself into the end zone to put the team on his back late in that game. We'll get to this later in the show, but the lack of run game didn't make the game easier on Michael Penix.
Yeah.
But he did well within what he was asked to do. The next step, get the run game going so your pass game opens up a bit more. And let's see that strong arm of his push the ball downfield.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully we see that this weekend. All right, y'all. 'Tis the regular season, and 'tis the season for walking in. Just like that. We are so back, y'all. Ray McCloud back at the top of this segment like he never left.
Yep.
This look is black and white, but anything but. I mean, we've got like a beaded pearly tie going on and the Michael Jackson steppers down at the bottom there. The briefcase that looks like it's carrying an undisclosed amount of cash. And on top of all that, his baby in his jersey. Are you kidding me? That's adorable.
So on game days, I usually send my favorite fit to Kelly, and this was the pic that I sent this week. I think my caption was something along the lines of the babies in the briefcases.
So cute. All right. Don't wear white after Labor Day? Brandon Dorless said, bet. He wants no part of fake fall in Atlanta. It is full summer vibes with this fit.
Is it just me, or is this kind of giving Yacht Boy summer? Like,
yes.
I know we can't see his shoes, but I do feel like they may be boat shoes.
Yes, the vibe would be continued with that. All right, still to come on Rise Up tonight, I go in the nest with the right-hand woman of Michael Penix Jr.'s, left-hand man, his left tackle. Don't miss my conversation with Meggi Matthews later in the show.
We love Meggi on the show, and the Falcons rookies stay bringing the heat even on their days off. We'll explain that coming up next.
Rise Up Tonight is presented by AT&T and brought to you by Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. By Mercedes-Benz, the best of nothing. And by Home Depot, how doers get more done. Do you ever wonder what's really on your favorite player's mind? It's time for the question of the week.
What is your go-to breakfast order?
Omelet.
Veggie omelet?
Oh, I mean, probably omelet. Every time, fully loaded with all the vegetables and chorizo, all that stuff, yeah.
With everything in it, like eggs. And I gotta have like good, like, it's gotta be good crisp hash browns. I don't want those cubed potatoes that, no, those off, like crispy, like so much butter hash browns.
I'm very simple in the morning, especially with practice. I really like having a light stomach, so I go either one bagel in a yogurt, or I'll go 2 plain bagels in a yogurt.
He needs some milk.
4 eggs, spinach, with some chicken, with some oats, with some kind of toast, and then usually some blueberries, flax, chia, sometimes honey, and usually that's maybe a yogurt, but it depends.
JD has his routine figured out for sure. Okay, but my favorite part of those segments are all the screenshots that are
so
amazing producers find.
So good. We love it.
Those are awesome. All right, amid all the hubbub of Elijah Wilkinson becoming the starting right tackle, I asked Bijan Robinson straight up last week, how does that affect you and the ground game? He said, it doesn't. But clearly something was amiss with Atlanta's rushing attack. They had just 69 yards rushing, only 28 attempts in the game, and averaging 2.5 yards per carry. And it's an issue that you also dove into in this week's film study on AtlantaFalcons.com. Tori, talk about it.
So I recommend reading the full breakdown. It's packed with a lot of detail, but here are the 3 big takeaways. Number 1, Tampa Bay read the cues easily, with linebackers shadowing and eyeing Charlie Warner, knowing that he's the lead blocker in Atlanta's scheme. Number 2, the O-line struggled, plain and simple. With no Caleb McGarry on the right side, more runs actually went to the left, but there were some missed opportunities, some missed blocks, a little push downfield, clogged the lanes. But one reason or another, number 3, they kind of went away from where it worked in 2024. Last year, most runs went outside to the tune of 65% of runs averaging going outside the tackles. On Sunday, 63% were between the tackles. So bottom line, poor blocking, predictable play design, and no room to run. If Atlanta wants to bounce back, the ground game needs to be reevaluated.
Well, the Falcons are looking to fan the flames of hope as a new season kicks off and extinguish a playoff drought going back to 2017. But on Tuesday, the rookie class was putting out a different kind of fire as we rise up for Atlanta, brought to you by Truist. This week, some of the Atlanta Falcons rooks stopped by Station 22 in downtown Atlanta, where they not only met with firefighters, but they also had an opportunity to see what it was like to be one, and it meant a lot to both sides. You know who else is fired up for a new season? Mrs. Meggi Matthews, whose husband Jake is the longest tenured Atlanta Falcon at this point. She's in the nest next on Rise Up Tonight.
Welcome back to Rise Up Tonight. Let's head in the nest with Kelly, Tori, and this week's special guest, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz.
We are so excited to have a very special guest in the nest with us, Meggi Matthews, wife of Jake Matthews. Thanks so much for coming in studio with us. I'm so excited to talk to you about all things Falcons, but just like so much you're doing outside of that as well. First of all, year 12 for Jake? How crazy is that?
Yeah, year 12. This will be I think we counted the other day, our 6th together.
Yeah.
So we met a little bit later in his career, and I was reporting actually in Alabama. So he was like, nope, you're going to come and hang out with me and do football. And so reporting was no more. So sitting in the studio, I'm like, wow, this feels very familiar, but it's been a while since I've done it. But yeah, year 12 for him. I think I just can't talk about like his hard work enough.
Right.
He is the hardest worker. When he gets home from work, he is doing recovery, trying to be dad as well. So it's amazing to watch, and I feel like each year it's just more and more and more for him. Like I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know if intensity is the right word because he's always intense.
Right.
But I think he's just looking for a way to continue to better himself each and every year. And I'm like, well, I wonder if you're gonna like top out. Like we're doing recovery and sauna and cold tub and all the things. But it's really amazing to get to have a front row seat too.
Yeah. How do you guys balance it? How does he balance being dad? And what is it like for you to see him be a dad?
Yeah, one, it's amazing. So he comes from, he has 6 brothers and sisters. He's one of 7.
Yeah.
And his dad played 19 years. And I say to his mother all the time, how did you do that with 7 kids? Like sometimes with 2, I'm like, what is happening? What day is it? Where are we?
I've got 1 and I think that, so I can't even imagine.
And he wants more. And everyone's like, are you going to do more? Are you going to have more during the season? And I'm like, let me just get through the 2nd. And we'll go from there.
Right.
I have committed to at least a couple more. His big thing is if they, or when we win a Super Bowl, I have to commit to a 5th child.
Okay.
And I was like,
get on it,
Falcons. We will see. But yeah, so it's been really fun to watch him. He's always been amazing with kids. And I think that's the best word to describe him as a dad is he's so hands-on.
That's awesome.
Like it's not really like right when he walks in the door. I think the only time I've ever seen him be like, okay, Beckett, just give me a minute is if he's trying to watch film. And then he's like, just give me a second to focus. But when he walks in the door, you hear screaming, Dada, like through the house. Gracie is only 11 months and she's screaming to be picked up. And then he's like on the floor with them playing until, dinner time and recovery time.
Well, speaking of kids, you just opened a boutique as well in Flowery Branch. It's adorable. I went there the other day. I bought a dress for my baby. I have to show you a picture. We put it on the other day. It's so cute. It's all football stuff. It's so adorable.
Yes.
Tell me about that journey. Like, why do that? Like, where did that kind of come from, and how fun has it been to do that?
Yeah. So, actually, my mother-in-law, she had an LLC ready to go in Houston, and this was before they moved the team to Tennessee while they were still there, and it was Ribbons and Rattles, and she really wanted to do that. And so it's funny, my parents have owned restaurants and a wine store growing up, so I've always gotten that kind of entrepreneurial spirit from them. And then we've always loved, Carrie and I have always loved baby clothes, Jake's mom. So I was like, I'm dressing my kids, I love shopping for my kids. I was driving all the way downtown because we're up in kind of the Buford area. I was coming all the way downtown to find a really great children's store that I loved, and I just felt like I had a passion for it. I really wanted to give, not back to the community in a sense, but kind of put something out there in the community that has embraced us so well. And we opened the store, and my mother-in-law, it's kind of been, I feel like she's gotten to kind of live out a little bit of like what it would have been like to open her store. So we've gotten to do that, and then my mom and dad have really gotten to help me on the business side of things since they've done it for 10 years. So it was really cool to kind of like mesh it and see everyone really enjoy it and embrace it. Jake loves it. He was there reading with Bijan for the grand opening. Chris Lindstrom just came like a week ago and read too. And we obviously have a huge like football collection we just put out.
Gosh, it's so cute. Y'all
we had to go aggressive with it.
It's so cute.
And I feel like the community really has enjoyed it.
What is your favorite Falcons memory? Because Jake's now the longest tenured Falcon on this team, so there's so many to choose from.
There are so many to choose from, but honestly, like I feel like recently one of my favorite, I don't know if I would call it a memory, but memory is just watching him get to continue to re-sign and be in Atlanta.
Right.
Like I love watching that. Like, I didn't get to be here for the beginning of his career, but I've just seen him put his heart into this team and his heart into the city.
Absolutely.
And so it's really fun just to get to be here for when he gets to re-sign.
It doesn't happen a lot anymore in the NFL to stay with one team for that long.
Yeah,
so.
and his dad got to stay with, I mean, it was the Oilers and the Tennessee Titans, but it was the same franchise for 19 years. So it's just really cool to kind of get to see them bond over that.
Right.
He calls his dad after games and talks it through, and it's really cool to see his dad getting to watch Jake's career. I would say that would be a favorite memory, but I would say like favorite game, honestly, probably last year, Tampa Bay overtime. Thursday night, Gracie was 7 days old, and I just like threw her in the pouch, and I was like, we're going to the game, girl. She was on the sideline, 7 days old, and
she was the good luck charm.
She was the good luck charm. I remember like jumping up and down and like trying to like hold her neck when we went into overtime, and I would say that was probably one of my more fun games.
Oh my God, super mom, 7 days postpartum. Sheesh, that's insane.
Getting to watch my kids watch him. Jake Beckett just looks like, I joke that I'm like chopped liver. Jake is the end all be all to Beckett. Like, he's the coolest guy in the whole world.
So how are we feeling about this season? How is Jake feeling? How are you feeling?
Jake feels really good. Like, it's so interesting. I joke with him, like, you age like fine wine. Like, you just get like a little bit, he just feels better and better each year.
Yeah.
And I like enjoy watching his like confidence and just his growth and maturity each year.
Right.
Like, I'm like, he jokes, oh, my old. I'm like, no, I think you look great. Like, I think you're rocking it.
Right.
Like what I say matters, but I think he feels really good. Gosh, he loves all the guys on the team. Like I said before, he's kind of just like a little bit of a quieter leader, kind of a lead by example guy. But I just feel like he has this respect among all of the guys that is so cool to see. And I mean, I feel good. I'm like, I play tennis, and I told all the girls, I was like, we're wearing red and black on Thursday for the match. We are winning. We are taking the good vibes into the week. Like, and it's funny, I feel like I get more competitive with him each year too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he wants it obviously way more than I do, but it's just, we put our family into this, we put our lives into this. Like, it's funny when people come and watch games with us, because I'm so intense, and I shouldn't be that intense, but I'm like, you guys don't understand like what I see Jake prepare for all week, and what I feel like we sacrifice, and the behind the scenes, and like going to meet and greet today. And it's not like he has a job. He can just be like, oh, I need an hour off to go have meet and greet with my kids. So I want it for him bad too.
Yes.
I do, and I feel really good about this year. Hopefully it's like Super Bowl this year. I'll take that world record.
And you know what? We know what the promise is, so we'll be staying tuned if there is a Super Bowl.
I was like, I made the mistake of saying that on my TV. I was like, because now people are going to be like, wait,
they're going to hold you to it.
We won, you have to do it.
It's on the record books now.
I'm going to have to name the fifth one Georgia or something. Like,
that's amazing. Well, thanks so much for joining us, for sharing all that insight. Anyone who wants to catch the full conversation, head to fox5atlanta.com, and on Fox Local, we'll have the full thing. Thanks so much for joining us again. We'll be right back on Rise Up Tonight.
Hey Atlanta, this is Head Crack talking, and you watching Rise Up Tonight, presented by AT&T.
When Michael Penix Jr. and Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy face off on Sunday, it'll be the first ever Sunday night football matchup in which both quarterbacks have a career total of 5 starts or fewer. Penix will be making his 5th start in this game, McCarthy his 2nd. And after watching McCarthy's debut also in primetime on Monday night, I'm going to get the popcorn out for the both of us in the press box this Sunday night, Tori.
No, you're so right. It's like the Jaden Daniels-Michael Penix Jr. matchup from last year all over again. 2 young quarterbacks going at it. This one a little bit interesting because the last time Michael Penix Jr. and J.J. McCarthy faced each other, the college football national championship game a couple years ago, Michigan versus Washington. Talk about a rematch on a very big stage.
And I like when Penix was asked about, having a good memory of that. He was like, no, I lost that game. That was a terrible memory for me. Both those guys have trained together. They know each other well. So.
Yes, and to Michael Penix's credit, he played pretty well in that game.
Yeah.
Just didn't end up doing, the team itself didn't do enough to win it.
Well, we'll see if the Falcons do enough to win this Sunday night. We'll be back next week to wrap it up. Good night.